So guys, we have 𝒂𝒔𝒄𝒏𝒍𝒐𝒂𝒅 Sharma with us. He's our ex-student. He attended our program from 2nd to 15th of April this year. And thereafter he had gone to Allahabad for his SSB. He's been recommended and now he's going to share a few experiences with you guys. Alright? So, we hope that you will benefit from whatever he is going to tell you. Right? Okay, Imam?
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
So you can share your experiences and what have you learned? Can you correlate the learning here with your actual experience? That is the purpose of this talk.
Yes.
Please start.
Okay, so few points are there, very basic points which also our teachers here are mentioning and constantly repeating those points. First is you have to be honest. When you go there, they want to see your personality and they want to know who you are. So you have to be honest and totally honest, because when you say lies, you will be cornered in some manner and you will be your lies will be caught. So don't lie there. You have to be honest, totally honest about who you are, what you have done till now, what's your personality, your life, all your life. Secondly, here what we are doing is everyone, all the teachers here are also promoting self-introspection, that you have to know yourself, because even when I came here I was not so much aware about myself, but when I went through the coaching program I was continuously asked to frame my own answers, right? So no one here is giving answers to you. You have to frame your own answers, because we are all different individuals and hence self-introspection is very important. Then thirdly, what I felt was practice is important. Sir will show you many stories and words and all the helping material is given, but once you go home and you don't practice it, then it's of no use. So you have to practice whatever is being taught here multiple times, and when you're going to the SSB you have to stay calm. You don't have to take any pressure at all, just going there for an activity, because it's basically it's not a written exam where you're competing with others and you have to beat the person next to you or the candidate next to you. You are competing with yourself in the SSB, right? So if anyone is going multiple times as well, they are competing with the previous version of themselves which went to the SSB. So keep that in mind, and I believe all of you will definitely crack SSB. Right. Thank you.
Can you talk something specifically about the group tasks, outdoor tasks, and site tests? What you had learned here? What did you find here? Also about your PPTT experience. How did it go? Very briefly.
Yeah. So starting from PPTT experience, PPTT was very similar to what we had practiced. PPTT was very similar to what we had practiced here. Sometimes you will get a good group, sometimes you will get a very active group in which everyone wants to participate. So one important thing is you have to go with the flow of the group, right? Don't try and push your point, just your point. Just go with the flow of the group. It happened with me. I pushed my point once, but later I realized that the group is not going in that direction, so I went on with the flow of the group. PPTT, again it's GD, it's basically a group discussion, so you have to push your point and you will get through PPTT. In the group tasks, there is a group, so everyone's ideas are important. You have to give importance to others' ideas, and also you have to put forward your ideas. You have to actively take part in the activities as well, like there is the half group task, PGT is there, FGT is there. You have to actively go forward, take that help, give your ideas, take others' ideas, and in the group task you will definitely, because it's teamwork, what they are observing is teamwork. There is the snake race. So snake race, you have to encourage your fellow members and you have to help them as well in some obstacle if they are not able to cross, so you have to help them as well. So the most important in the snake race will be not most important, I mean to say where the help is required is the wall. The wall is very high to climb, so there you might have to push your fellow mates. So there you have to help them, and basically it's teamwork and you will get through it. In the psychology, what they're observing is, as Dua sir have already mentioned here multiple times to you all, that how do you think and how do you behave, and you don't get time there. You have to be, your first observation or your first thought is to be is written, because the time is very less. So you have to practice a lot for psychology. If you are deviating from positive aspect in the psychology in some words or in some situations, then you have to work on yourself and think that why I am thinking like this. I can think it in a different manner. You have to prepare multiple solutions as well. You can practice. The more you practice, the more the good you will perform there, right? So the more of what is inside of you, your personality will come out the more you practice here, or the after hours of the coaching, or before your SSB, right? And again, the TAT stories and stories, it's there's a format is there, and you have to go through the format and write a little bit out of the box stories, not conventional, stories like going to the vacation or family picnic. Those are very common stories which we are seeing, a little bit out of the box. Thank you.
I would like to ask you one question. This is for your benefit, in fact. How did the learning at Cavalier help you to pass your SSB?
So for all the aspects which I have mentioned, self-introspection, like we have to write the SD, we have to give the interview. So when I think about myself, about my past life, what I want to be, then I am able to give their honest answers, right? The preconceived answers or the answers which we find on internet, YouTube videos or the books, they are the answers of the persons who have written them, not our answers, because our answers will correlate to the psychology test we are giving, to the interview we are saying, to the SD we are filling, to the PIQ form, right? So that's why I mentioned earlier, honesty is very important. Secondly, if you follow the ways or the word to word about the teachings of the Cavalier or the institute which the teachers have mentioned here, I believe you will be easily be able to crack this. It's not a big deal.
So can we have some questions from the class? Do you have anything to ask him? Yes. Go ahead, please.
First of all, many congratulations.
Thank you,
for your
sir.
first
Thank you
success.
so much.
So your which attempt was it?
It was my first attempt.
First attempt.
Yes.
So it was your first attempt. So you must be nervous or afraid of it. So how did you manage it? Like if your first attempt, so you is in mind that whether I will pass or not, what will happen? What will happen if I get screened out? So how did you manage that?
So there's two basic fundas are there. First is when you're feeling nervous, take deep breaths and calm yourself down. Secondly, you are going there to give your best. The result is not in your hands. So don't worry about the situation which is not in your hands, but worry about the tests which you are going to give. Work on that, and if you are working on that, you will not worry. You will not be worried while you are giving the test, right? So practice beforehand is required. Even for any competitive exam, when we are studying, we practice a lot. We take coaching. We solve multiple previous year questions and papers and all. So similarly, you have to practice for that. And when you are practiced and you are ready, then you won't be worrying there, right?
Excellent.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead. Don't hesitate. Yeah. Very good.
So you went there prepared, yes. So I want to know that if there was a situation when you get stuck, and if there is yes, so tell me the situation and what was how was your approach to deal with that situation?
Okay, a situation where I get stuck. I would say I got a bit stuck in the command task, but eventually the instructors or the assessors who are there and your fellow mates, they are all there to help you. No one is there to go. You're not going to SSB so someone can fail you. You are going there so they can pass you. So eventually, if you are stuck, you will get help. Don't worry that no help will be given to you. Everyone is there to help you. So don't worry. And when you are stuck, you will be helped. And that is it. Don't worry about it.
See, it is not reaching the solution. It is your thought process, your, how do you approach the solution, that is also important. You may not be able to reach the solution, correct? But how do you approach the problem? You mentioned it rightly. And that is where the practice is going to help you. One point that I would like to add here is the level of comfort the student feels कि यहाँ जो पिक्चर मेरे को यहाँ दिखाई गई है वही पिक्चर वहाँ आएंगी तो मेरा आसान हो जाएगा काम करना. No, you should be familiar with the process. You should believe कि SSB पास करने का स्टेप्स यही है, स्ट्रक्चर ये है, पिक्चर कोई भी आए. सो यहाँ पे जो प्रैक्टिस आपको दी जा रही है वो इसी बात की दी जा रही है whatever be the picture. So your comfort should be in terms of learning the structure, learning this language, correct? And not level of comfort in terms of यही picture वहाँ आएगी, आ भी सकती है और नहीं भी आ सकती है. Have you understood my point?
Yes, sir.
So, the picture that was shown in the first PPT, so your story was matching with the other group members or not? Like, they are different stories, so you must have different story. So what is matching or what is looking for?
So what I believe is it depends on the group which you are going to get, and I also mentioned the situation of the group will be different every time. There are so many combinations and permutations and combinations, so don't worry about that. And secondly, in my case, what happened was I found 3 stories, including mine, were out of the box, and other stories were matching on the same level. Basically, everyone was going on a vacation. So yeah, so when the discussion started, I tried to push, as I mentioned. Once I tried to push all the stories which are good, but things did not go in my direction, so I went with the flow of the group.
So the things did not go in your direction means that the story everyone was discussing was different from your
Yes,
story.
yes.
So how did you deal that? Because your story is different and everyone's story is different. So how did you help the group to reach the discussion?
Okay. See, what happens is, as we are being prepared here again about that, before you are going to the PPT, you have 5 to 10 minutes of slot. Either you are waiting in the line, you are waiting out of the room. There are 5 to 10 minutes given to you. In that period, you can practice your story multiple times in your mind, because you have written your story. Definitely, if you are not aware about your story, who will be aware? You can practice your story, and then when you are sitting there, you are ready. You have practiced 5 to 6 times your story, and you know what you are going to say when your chance comes. Before that, listen to other stories and listen to stories after that. So when the discussion starts, you are aware about what others have spoken. So as I distinguished, there were 3 stories. How did I distinguish them? Because I was listening to other stories. So yes, absolutely, you have to also follow that.
So don't worry, we'll deal with this issue today. You have a
Yes.
class on PPT. We'll deal with this issue, and it does not matter whether your story matches other people's story or not. What matters is whether your story is relevant and relatable to the picture or not. That is primary requirement. Do not worry if your story is not matching with other members of your group. Okay?
Invariably, it will not match that together. But you should have the firm belief कि स्टोरी लिखने का मेथड यही है, ओके? और अगर ये आपका विश्वास, यकीन वहाँ पे डोलने लग गया ना, then you are bound to fail. So believe on yourself. करेक्ट? ये बात जब लास्ट फ्राइडे को आप मेरे पास आओगे तो काफी हद तक ये डाउट जो है वो क्लियर कर दिए.
Okay.
Let's give it a
please.
last question.
Good afternoon and many congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you share your experience during the interview round?
Absolutely, yeah. So interview, as here, the questions will be taught to you because it's a standard format, and the interview is not about how knowledgeable you are in your studies or how knowledgeable you are in different. Obviously, it is about that, but the main primary motive of the interview is to know about yourself, because the sir who is sitting there, he wants to know about you. So as I mentioned earlier, self-introspection is important while you're answering. Honesty is important in the interview, and everyone's life story will be different. In interviews, again I have mentioned this earlier, that if you try to lie, you will be cornered, and no one will tell you there that you are lying or something. Everything will go smoothly. So you have to answer with the best of your abilities in the best manner you can. An interview will go smoothly if you know yourself. Don't worry about the interview, right? If you have done your degree or whatever whichever entry you are going from, if you are about your family, it will be asked about your family, your teachers, your friends, your outgoing activities, the activities in your spare time, the free time, how you manage your expenses, and much more. And everything will be taught to you here. So don't worry. Again, one last thing which I will say is, follow the instructions of the instructors which are there in the institute, and you will get it. Definitely.
I'll ask him the last question.
Yes.
Now, after you completed your 2 weeks here,
Yes, sir.
did you have some indicators from me, from the GTO, from the interviewing officer, that you are going to do well at the SSB?
Yes, sir. A few indicators were there. Definitely. Should I specifically? So, like Dua sir also mentioned, once he mentioned my name in the class, that you are on the right path, but you have to improve. It was not definite that you will crack it or something like that. And again, in my interview round, 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒅 sir is there. So he also mentioned that with your current level of thinking, which I am seeing, which I found in your interview round, you can clear. No one will be like you will clear, because it definitely is based on the performance which you are going to give in the SSB.
Let's give him a big hand. Aman, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming and sharing your experience with all of us here. God bless you.
Thank you so much.